All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Unwired Appalachia. We got a special guest today, Shelby Valley head coach Tyler Johnson. If Tyler's here, that means football season is probably on the horizon. Practice started last week. Tyler, just tell everybody how everything's going so far early on. Hard to tell right now, but just kind of talk about how practice has been so far this first week.
So far it's been good. Thursday, first day back from Depier, we actually went to UVA-wise and done 7-on-7. To have 3 weeks of rust under our belt, felt we done pretty good over there. Then we come back Thursday or Friday, had a real good practice, and yesterday had a good practice. So everything's going good right now. You know, for a 2A school, we got to plug and place, and we got to find the pieces that fit the puzzle. But so far, we've had really good attitudes and really good work ethic. You got those two things, and a lot of things will fall your way.
Yeah, great season last year, your first year head coach, and probably the end of the year probably didn't end the way you wanted it to, but it's a great year to build on. Just talk about that momentum heading into the year two for you.
Yeah, started off 0-6, but actually I talked to Lincoln, who'll be on here later, last night. Most of those games early, even though it was 0-6, they were 2-possession games, 1-possession tight games. We figured out ways to win games towards the end of the season. And, the playoffs, I thought we was in a good spot. Brady goes down with a rolled ankle, and then we bring Jonah Bartley in as our backup Q. In the very next play, he goes out with a concussion, and the wheels kind of fell off. That thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, with that experience, and we're going to play a hard schedule again this year, and that's a mindset I want the boys to have. We don't want to go out and just play, anybody. We want to get better each and every week. So, I don't expect us to go on the district play undefeated, but, we're going to get better each and every single week, and we're going to be a good football team again by the end of the season like we was last year.
Yeah, you guys are known for your offense. You've kind of helped build that offense throughout the years at your time as coordinator and all that. Just talk about how potent this offense can be, especially with these guys with a year under the belt of stars. I know you were young last year in a lot of spots. Talk about how good this offense can be this year.
Well, everything starts in the spread with your Q, and I've got the best Q east of Lexington. I've not watched anybody in Lexington play, but he's probably better than a lot down there too. And then from there, you got to have a good offensive line. Now, our offensive line in this spread has typically looked a lot different than offensive lines, and it's going to look different this year. We're going to be our biggest one might be 240 pounds, but when you're spread out and you're doing zone schemes and different stuff, you value athleticism more than the big body up front. And then we return Bryce Bentley and Jonah Bartley at receiver, and we've got some other good bodies at receivers, but them two bring back the most experience. And both of them, Bryce was on your first team All-Mountain team last year. I think Jonah was second, and Jonah probably had an argument to be first,
Absolutely.
Just both of them are fantastic. They're seasoned route runners. They understand the spacing and the zones, and, I'm hoping them two and Brady end up being the same way that Russ and Brady Bentley and John Luke Fields was, where they've played together so much now. It's, kind of throw it with a blindfold on, and things will kind of fall your way.
Yeah, they kind of get that feel for each other.
Yeah.
Just kind of talk about, I think your biggest problem last year, according to most people, would say your defense. Just talk about the improvement on the defense. A lot of those guys were young. You're starting to get some guys back. You got a lot of talent back there. Just kind of talk about this defense.
Yeah, early in the year, it was a struggle defensively. Started out in one defense, and every injury we had on the team's at the same position, so we had to make a quick shift right in the middle of the season and go to some different stuff. But if you watch us all season long, by the end of the season, we was playing pretty good defense. In that playoff game, Martin had busted us on a long throw, but up until Brady went out and the wheels kind of fell off, we was, controlling the trenches, I felt like. But this year we return a lot of kids, like you said, and defense wins championships, and I'm a Steelers fan. I know you're a Bengals fan. We argue back and forth, but all levels of football, you've got to be able to play good defense, and I've kind of talked to our D coordinator. I expect to score 28 or more on every Friday, and what I want him, especially in high school football in general now, you're not going to go out there and hold teams under 14 points. There's just people's too creative with ways to get kids in space now. But, we want to hold teams under 21. If we can hold teams under 21, then that falls on the offense to take care of business on that end, and we'll see if we can win that game.
Yeah, you talked about, the schedule earlier and how tough it was. Y'all back in Pike County Bowl this year. Just kind of talk about that schedule and how important that tough schedule is getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, so our first 3 games, we're going to play the Ohio State champions in Ironton. We're going to play a regional finalist in Prestonsburg, and we're going to play a Letcher Central team that played Boyle County as close as anybody besides Covington Catholic in the state of Kentucky. And to me, that's great. I don't want to waste multiple hours to go out and play a game that, might not make us a better football team. We want to value our time. We might come out of that 0-3, we might come out 3-0, 2-1, 1-2. Everything's on the table. But I know that in those 3 weeks, we're going to be better going forward. And that's what you want out of a schedule, especially in this RPI. I look at the RPI way different than others. Everybody in 2A that's in those urban areas, they're able to go find those 5 and 6A teams, and they're going to get those bonus points. We don't have that around here. So the best thing for us, we might not have 10-0, 9-1 record, but we're going to be a better football team in the playoffs because we're going to be on the road more than likely no matter who we played around here and how many games we won just because of that bonus point system.
Yeah, speaking of the playoffs and stuff, everything starts with that district. This district's tough last year. Y'all had some great district games. It's going to be a little bit different this year with Belfry coming in. Just kind of talk about, how much tougher it gets because, Betsy Lane was there, Paxton, East Street. All these teams were really good last year, and then you throw another good team in. I mean, that's going to kind of shake this district up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Obviously Belfry's coming down to 2A. They've not been in 2A, I guess, 20 years or so. So that's going to be a different animal. We're excited about that challenge. We've won 6 district championships in the last 10 years. And, our expectation is that we want to compete for the district championship every single year, but with that said, Pike Central had us on the ropes last year. We made a few big plays to beat them, and I know Grizzle's doing a good job up there. They got quite a bit coming back. Gerald's doing a good job at Betsy Lane, and then Eastridge does some stuff offensively that just kind of catches you off guard. So you got to be prepared that week because you just kind of never know what's coming. So, it's exciting. But we played Belfry that last district game of the year, and, we're excited about that. And you're there in Pond Creek. These boys have never played in Pond Creek. I graduated in 2008, and I might have been the last Shelby Valley football graduating class that had actually played in Pond Creek. So it'll be a good experience for them to go over there and see that atmosphere.
Yeah, I guess last thing, we'll kind of wrap it up and get some of you guys up here. Just kind of talk about being back. I know week 1, you're probably focused on it more than anything, but you are back in the Pike County Bowl. That's a huge game around here. Everybody knows, a lot of people circle that. It's almost like a playoff atmosphere. How big is that going to be for you guys to get in there in that early season and get in a big crowd like that?
I think the big crowd will be good, but, these kids, my seniors have only ever played in one. So it's going to be different, because you get so accustomed to every year you're going to the Pike County Bowl, and then, we got drawed out of it based upon the drawing. So they played in it their freshman year, and they've never played in it before. And so most of them, as the seniors I've got right now, Lincoln Taylor probably played in the game as a freshman. Some of them probably got in later in the game because he was able to take care of business early that time. But it's going to be good for them to go down there and see those massive crowds, because it is different because you got 4 teams rolling in, and most of the second game is always there to watch the first game, and it's standing room only, and it's going to be hot.
Mm-hmm.
Probably going to storm, might get a heat play, might get some rain, you never know what's going on, but it'd be a good experience for them to finally get back in that.
All right, man, I appreciate you. We'll appreciate you. Get some of you guys up here, and we'll continue to talk about the season. We're back. We got a special guest, Shelby Valley's Lincoln Taylor. Hey, Lincoln, just kind of talk about this offensive lineup in Shelby Valley. I know last year I thought you played great in that offensive line. You were really one of the key cogs. You're back again. How fun is it blocking in this kind of scheme? I mean, a lot of guys like to run block, but this is more of a pass block type of offense. Just kind of talk about your role and how fun it is blocking in a scheme like that.
It's pretty fun. My goal is just, protect my quarterback, Brady, let him moving in and out of the pocket, find open receivers. And, if everything breaks down, he's got good enough legs to run. Our goal is just to, communicate better, give him more time in the pocket.
Yeah, just kind of talk about, what kind of shape guys have to be in, because I think sometimes people forget these fast offensive, you got to go. Just kind of talk about what kind of shape and how physical you have to be as well, because you're all still up there hitting guys, and it's a physical game still. Just kind of talk about, the speed and the physicality and how those kind of play together in this offense.
We like to get out in space and, run a lot. We don't really get in huddles and, talk. We just get a play card, and then we're all just down the field moving. We're constantly hitting, but, TJ does a great job of getting us in shape and getting us ready for that.
Yeah, you guys up front sometimes get overlooked, but when you see your offense score, it is a lot of times because of the job you guys are doing. Talk about what it feels like when you see those guys get in the end zone because, I mean, a lot of times you or one of your teammates or make the big block to help them get free. Talk about how that feels seeing those guys in the end zone and knowing you're a part of that score.
It feels great. I know a lot of the skilled kids get the credit for everything, but whenever we score, I know I did my job. So, us as linemen, we just kind of hold each other accountable. We give each other credit, show each other credit, and that's just kind of what we do as linemen.
Yeah, I know Tyler used you a little different last year, especially on some 2-point conversions. Just knowing that maybe even though you're mostly a blocker, sometimes you're going to get the ball as well. You're going to have an opportunity to run, maybe even pass. How fun is that in this offense, knowing that, hey, I got a coach who he believes in me to put the ball in my hand when some other coaches just want to see that they're blocking?
Coach trust goes a long way, and I'm grateful that he trusts me enough to put me back there to do, some things that I want to do. After we scored a touchdown after I blocked, it's kind of like a treat. I just get to go score for myself and kind of get the credit.
Yeah, just switching gears real quick. Just talk about the defense. I know these small teams, you've got to play both ways. You like to get it after up there on that defensive line. Just kind of talk about this defense and how. I know last year you all had some problems early on, but it showed growth every week. Just kind of talk about that growth going into this season.
Well, last year was mostly a rebuilding year on defense. We were putting in new stuff that we ain't learned, and we had a bunch of kids out of position trying to learn new stuff as the season went along. But once everybody truly came together and bought in on the defense, that's when we kind of started shutting teams down.
Yeah, just kind of, I guess, last thing, and we'll try to get some of your teammates up here, but we don't want to keep you too long. Just kind of talk about some of your goals this year for yourself and maybe what you want this team to do this year.
I just want to compete this year. Like I said, last year was a rebuilding year, and this year we finally got our guys and, playing teams like Ironton and, Belfry dropping down to our district. It's just going to be fun to compete with, my friends one more time.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Unwired Appalachian podcast. We got another special guest, Shelby Valley's Bryce Bentley. Bryce, just a great athlete for whoever out there hasn't seen him play. He was a little upset when we were coming in. He thought we left him off the All-Mountain first team, but he was one of our Player of the Year nominees. So congratulations on that outstanding baseball season. But now how do you switch gears and get ready for football? I know practice is underway. What's the mentality going into football season?
Yeah, it's definitely different from baseball. I kind of just try and get in a little bit better shape. Baseball is more of just a routine sport, but football you actually have to be in good shape and be able to run a lot and stuff. So that's what I do.
Yeah, in this offense, you play a big role with that receiver. You're kind of you're used different ways. You're kind of a receiver. Sometimes you might, get those short passes like a slot guy, kind of like a H-back type of deal sometimes. Just talk about your role in this offense and how fun it is because any play you could be getting that ball.
Yeah, it's really fun. TJ put me at slot this year, so I'm very excited. That's what my brother used to play. So he used to get the ball a lot. So I'm excited to get the ball a lot and maybe score. So
yeah, just kind of talk about that, following in your brother's footsteps. I mean, he had some big shoes to fill. I mean, he was, I think, second or third in the state one year in receiving. Do you feel any pressure to maybe live up to that, or you just go out and play your game?
I don't really have any pressure to that. Brady, he was a great athlete, but I know I could be up there with him. So I just got to put the effort in and I might become better than him. So
yeah, absolutely. Just kind of talk about the connection you have with your quarterback over there. I mean, Brady, that's always important in receiver quarterback to have a good relationship. Kind of talk about that, your chemistry on the field with Brady.
Me and Brady have a lot of chemistry. I feel like he gets out of the pocket, I know where to go because I run my routes hard, but I know if they're not open, I know how to find open space and get to Brady.
Yeah, switching gears a little bit. Last year, I know y'all got off to a little bit of a slow start. You fought hard, kept getting better and better. How good did that feel last year at the end of the season to be playing so well after that kind of a slow start? I mean, play here or there, your whole season is different. Just kind of talk about that improvement last year and what you guys learned from that.
Yeah, after the rough start, going 0-6, it was pretty frustrating. But after we started getting some couple more wins and playing a little bit better football, it felt a lot better. I liked going out there and playing with my friends.
Yeah, I guess the last couple things for you is just kind of talk about, some of your goals for this season, whether it's you want to have a big year and improve on your stats from last year, or whether it's a number of catches, yards, whatever, or if it's just all team oriented. I mean, or if it's both. I mean, if you want to, kind of talk about your own goals and the team goals.
Yeah, definitely both. But I definitely want to try and get better with my stats. Hopefully, try and get up there with my brother's receiving yards. But mostly just winning more games and playing better football.
Well, if you have those big stats, it probably means a lot of success for the team, right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I guess last thing, this offense, when you guys are scoring points and clicking, do you feel like anybody can stop you, or is it just one of those things that each game is different, and just kind of try to explain that if you can? I mean, I know that's kind of a hard question to answer, but this offense, sometimes when guys get clicking, it looks like you get a lot of confidence and probably feel you can score about any time.
Yeah, our offense is once we start getting in the groove of things, we start getting those bigger plays and we start scoring a lot more. And I don't think many teams can stop that once we get in that groove.
All right, man. I appreciate your time. Good luck on the season. We'll see you soon. All right, we're back. We got another special guest, Shelby Valley's Brady Johnson. Brady, last year, your first year, you kind of had a tough role to fill. You'd always followed in Russ's footsteps. Russ Osborne, for those who don't know, he's at UPike now. He had a great, outstanding career at Shelby Valley. A lot of pressure for you for this offense, but you filled in and had one of the best years I've seen. I mean, just talk about stepping in last year and trying to make your own way in this offense.
Yeah, Russ, he taught me a lot, my freshman and sophomore year. I just want to get out there and try to be myself, but I thought I done pretty good last year for my first year starting. My freshman year, I had my first start in the regional championship and didn't do too good, but I feel like that helped me out a lot. So
yeah, I mean, speaking of that region championship, how much does that sit on you, knowing that maybe if you don't get hurt there, things are different for your team? I mean, you were playing great. Just kind of talk about how you felt about that game.
I was down on myself a little bit after I got hurt, but I mean, they were up on us most of the game, and then we started catching our rhythm and started coming back and going down the field, driving on. But after I got hurt, everything went kind of downhill a little bit. I kind of got mad at myself, let my teammates down. But I mean, we're going to bounce back this year. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one of those things where an injury for a small school means a lot, and I think a lot of people saw that last year. But just kind of moving forward, just kind of talk about the confidence you gained from last year and the experience, and then how you're rolling that into this year and how that's going to help you and your teammates out.
Yeah, from after watching last year our season, I mean, I feel like we've all have improved. We've gotten the weight room, got a lot bigger. We lost a lot of seniors last year, but we still got a lot. I think we got 7 now this year, and I'm really confident in them. I'm really confident on my teammates. We got a lot of young guys going to have to fill in some spots this year, but I mean, I have a feeling they're going to do great.
So yeah, I just kind of talk. I mentioned to Bryce earlier. Just kind of talk about that 0-6 start. I mean, it's easy to hang your head on something like that, but you guys were in the games. It was like a player here or there. How do you stay positive through that, and how did you build on that and just overcome that as a team? Because, you guys could have laid down and just kind of quit on the season, but you didn't. How important is that for you guys going into this season? Know you've already been through all that adversity.
Yeah, I mean, it was frustrating being 0-6, but I mean, it was close games the whole time. I mean, our coaches they kept on us. I mean, they had our heads up and they kept us going. And then after we got that first win, I mean, we was all happy, and then it just kept going from there. We just kept getting more wins, and then against Martin County we lost. But I have a feeling we're going to be even better this year, and so yeah.
Yeah, I guess just kind of talk about, that the chemistry you guys developed, Bryce, but also you got Johnny. There's a lot of guys on this offense. Your offensive line, those guys blocking for you. Just talk about the chemistry you guys developed over last year and how that's going to pay dividends this year, because I would imagine the more reps you're getting, the better, you guys get every week.
Yeah, I mean, last year, it was my first year starting, and we was a little rusty at the beginning. We had to play a lot with each other, and then as the season kept going on, we just kept getting better and better, more chemistry, and plus, like, Bryce and Jonah, we've played since we were little kids, and it just keeps getting better on we go, and this is the last year, so I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I guess the last couple things for you, just kind of talk about how fun this offense is for you. Knowing any play, you could get somebody in the end zone, or you could break one yourself and run it. Just talk about how fun this offense is, because sometimes still around here, a lot of teams still want to run, or they try to pass, but it's not fully opened up. You guys, it seems like you're not scared to throw anything in the playbook out.
Well, yeah, as a quarterback, a spread's awesome. I mean, you make all those decisions. You get to determine everything. I mean, it's pretty great. I can throw or I can run. I do whatever I want, pretty much. And I got a lot of trust in my teammates to make plays and my O-line. I mean, they're young this year, but I mean, I got a lot of faith in them too. I mean, you got Lincoln Taylor. He's big. He's a great lineman. Caleb Thacker. He was injured last year, but he's back. And then, we got our center this year. He's a freshman. He's been in the weight room getting a lot of muscle, and he's going to do great. And so I'm pretty good.
All right, I guess last thing, and we'll let you go. Just kind of talk about some of your personal goals for the season, what you want to accomplish yourself, and what you want to see this team accomplish as well. I mean, it's kind of two-part question. First yourself, and then what you want out of this team.
Personal goal, I want to beat Russ's single-season passing record, and then team goal, I want to win a regional championship. I haven't done it yet, and that's my main goal right now.
All right, man. Awesome. Congrats. We'll see you soon, and we're looking forward to the season. I know you are as well.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. This is Unwired Appalachia. Randy Wild for all the Shelby Valley Wildcats. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys soon.